Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. No comments yet. I'm just wondering whether you guys think I'm a bit late. I'm planning on coming on after an hour. Clocks went back yesterday in the UK, so I put down 2:30, but it's actually 1:30, so I'm just wondering whether you guys are aware. But there is some viewers there. Okay, Rodian, how you doing? What, there you are, yeah. I didn't know because I put 2:30 and I just thought, well, I should have put 1:30 because obviously the clocks. But there you go. So, Rodian, how you doing? What, how you doing, pal? Stop Hunter, how are you? So, all good. As you can see, I've taken a quick trade there. We seem to be having a leg up there. We had a break. It seemed like a couple of legs. Big bullish bar. I took a higher low. It went up, started to go sideways. So when we had a bit of movement, I just came out for a point. So it's definitely working up there. So it did seem like a leg. We had a break and a leg down. So it looks like a leg. It's probably going to make a new high, but you know, I got to say, I hate getting into the markets. Let's have a look. Yeah, close enough. I hate trading early because it's just slow. You get used to a certain speed, don't you? So, hey, Speedy, how you doing? Jay, how you doing, pal? Good day, gents. Just want a quick warning. Watch out for this is part of two-tiered trend. If you back out just a little from Fridays. Oh, I see what you mean. See, the issue is... yeah, I don't know. You're on about that and that. So, Mac never ever, if we're in a two-tiered, Mac never talks about connecting previous days with this day. I don't know why, because at the end of the day, if you're trading like a daily chart or hourly, you're going to be going back a few days possibly. So I don't quite understand, but it's possible. I'll give you that. I mean, you could probably come down to here. It's possible. Yeah, Mac never does this. I don't know why, actually, because you would think it would make sense, but we'll just have to keep an eye on that for now. Just be aware that there is a possibility. So we are pushing up. We got a leg. I thought we more likely have a leg there. We seem to be moving up. We had a leg break, couple of pushes down to new low, big bullish bar, pushed up. Came back down, pushed up higher low. Trouble is, started going a bit sideways. You know, when it goes a bit sideways, you think, so sometimes, usually my average is about 2 points. I like to go for 3. But, you know, I've got no issues with taking a point. $50 is $50, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But once it started to go sideways, you just think, probably going to make a leg up. But there we go. So, what? There's also a gap. There is a gap, yeah. See, often it comes and fills that gap. But what I will say, I think we've still got a gap that needs filling from up here, haven't we? That is a gap, isn't it? Let me just check on that. Yeah, it is. There's a gap that needs filling. So what I'm going to do is just put a line across there. So what I'm going to do... What can I call that? I'll tell you what, let's call it gap above. Gap above, load. Please select the file, does it really matter? Okay, let's call it liquidity, gap above. Oh, hold on a minute, no, that's not what I'm thinking of. So, tell you what, I'll just name it. Let's do it purple. Let's put it dash. Where are we? Market's opening in about 45 seconds. So let's do a dash. Let's lock it in place. Okay, so. Balls. Extend right. Should have done that. Okay, so let's put gap above. Just so I'm aware of it, because if you go back 2 days, it is. I might put a bit more details in there in a bit anyway, but let's just put that there for now. So, okay, that clearly would have made what I wanted. I actually had that. Okay, market is officially open. Right, it's probably going to make a new high. I came out, where did I come out? There. So that would have confidently made, sometimes you just got to leave it, and yeah, that would have made 3 points easy. Yeah, okay. My only slight issue I have there is, although it's working up in a trend, it hasn't necessarily confirmed it well. But we are moving up, so when we have a break, something like that with a high low, you generally think it, but I just hate it when the market goes slow, but there we go. Point to point, I got no issues. I'm not too much of a snob. I won't take a point. So let's just see how we get on. So I missed Arminas. How you doing, pal? Brooke, how you doing, my friend? I took the same trade when market takes forever. Yeah, exactly the same as me, mate. Sometimes I don't bother, but yeah, once it starts to go sideways, see, at the end of the day, if I've got 10 PA accounts with $10,000 in each, you'd probably let that go, won't you? And let it do its thing. But at my level, you still have doubts, you know, those little things that pop into your head when it goes sideways. But just because something goes sideways doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad trade. Sometimes it just works that way. But how often do we see a push up, some sideways and a push up? We see it all the time. But you know, it is what it is anyway. But yeah, I hate slow movement. We get that used to trading, but I kind of liked it. We had 2 legs down. We had a big bullish bar. The next one went up. It came down. It reversed and then pushed up stronger. They're for me the best bars to go long, because if it moves across like this, let's say it moves across there and just pushes up, there's just buyers in there. But I like it when there's sellers have pushed it down and the buyers are strong enough to push it up. So for me, that's a stronger bar to go long on. But yeah, when it goes sideways, when that came down, you start asking questions, don't you? But I often see mark trades where it comes back almost level and he still marks it down as a good trade. So, you know, it's one of those things. But I've got no problem with a point. A point's a point. You know, if I got 10 accounts, that's $500, isn't it? So, you know, the plan is obviously 10 accounts to, you know, to think long term. So now, have we got a leg up, a 2-legged correction, and another leg up? I think it's possible. Let's see what this looks like. So that I can put that there. Okay, so that is looking okay. What I'd like to see is a break, and then this channel to go something like that. That's what I'd like to see. 2 legs of correction and another leg. So my only issue about going along here is that this is probably, it may come back to this side. So let's have a look. You've got me thinking now. Mac never mentions this. I don't really know why, because why would it not make a difference? You know what I mean? So it is possible, isn't it? But I never see Mac mention it. I never hear Marco or Daniel mention it. So whether, you know, just price action doesn't make a difference or not, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just keep it like this for now. So we got a leg up, 2 legs of correction, a higher low. I mean, yeah, if you leave it, up it goes. But I do like to see quick movement. You get used to a certain speed, and anything slower, it just gets your knees knocking, doesn't it? So this looks like a 2-tiered channel. We pushed up a little bit of sideways, right up there. So I would say it could be a 2-tiered channel. So yeah, you just don't know, do you? You hang on there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10, 11 points there. But if only we can read minds. So I bet you US guys are all gearing up for Fright Night tomorrow, aren't you? We've got pumpkins everywhere in the house and bits of things dangling, cobwebs and all sorts of stuff. So we're basically out the cricket, you guys. Well, Rodian and what? I mean, you're the cricket. You know a bit more about cricket. We have just done absolutely awful. Out of 6 games, we've won 1. We've just played absolutely appalling. We've been absolutely annihilated and embarrassed. South Africa have done really well, actually. India are doing well in it as well. I don't think India have lost a game. 6 games in a row. Well. Don't forget, guys, we've still got this 90% off. It runs out a week tomorrow. My code's down there as usual. If you use it or you have used it, it is appreciated. Okay, so a leg up, leg up. See, that type of trade I like to hold on. And the reason I didn't is because it had only really touched that line twice. Although I knew it was going up, I wouldn't say it was a fantastic looking trend because it does go a bit sideways here. After the higher low, I thought there was a good chance we could, get close to those highs. But it's not the type of... If we can get a really nice trend that looks really beautiful and have 2 lovely legs, I usually love the higher lows because you've got a good chance of making another leg. But it was just a bit too steep. If we'd have gone a bit sideways and made a higher low, that would have interested me a bit more there. We had a scare against the Netherlands and pulled up our socks here. I did not know what's wrong with England at the moment. They are just playing bloody awful. Joe Root, one of the best batsmen in the world, out for just didn't even get a run. Now we've played absolutely awful. What can you do though? So we've pushed up and we're going sideways now. Let me just have a look whether if we come back here, it might be a leg and a leg, and we may have an overall 2 pushes up. So let's put that like that and that there. So what I'd like to see, that's going to take us very close to Friday's highs. Also what I'd like to see, which I don't think we're going to, is something like this. Pull down to here, but I think, by the way, that's going up. There's no fear of that. I like it when we have one big leg up, and then it's split into 2. I think it's safer to put it like that at the moment. Leg and a break. A couple of legs down maybe, and then a bigger channel up. Oh, wow, look how that's pushed up. Unbelievable. Should have held on, Jay. What would we be looking at now if we'd have had the balls to hold on? Oh, we could have got an easy 10, 11 points out of that. Wow. Ain't hindsight a wonderful thing? Sort of rubs your nose in it, doesn't it? Ain't finished yet either, is it? It is frustrating, but what can you do? At the end of the day, we got a point, didn't we? Or whatever you got. I'm assuming you got something similar. Trouble is, if you sit on it and it turns around and knocks you off, it could be, it could be that. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? And that is not slowing down, is it? Green is green, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, if we'd have taken a point and it would have gone 5 ticks and turned around and stopped us out, we'd have made a good decision there. So it's just one of those things. Yeah. I don't mind. A win's a win, innit? Profit's profit. So I'm doing all right at the moment. 12 trades and I've won 11 of them. So that's not a bad run, actually. Trouble is, sometimes the more you win in a row, the harder it is to take a loss. So I'm trying not to let it get to my head too much at the moment. Okay, I'm hoping we get a couple of legs down here. Because we've had a break and we're continuing on up. So I don't know whether that is a possibility. It's possible. Push up, sideways, push up again. The only slight issue I have with that, I think it's good to assume you've had a break, because if you go long here and it triggers you and comes down, it might be because it's played out. See what I mean? What do you do here if you get 2 legs down? I'm just going to have to leave a long here just in case. Because if it triggers, it could... It's unusual, that, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not taking that. It is a second entry long, but that is just odd-looking price action and risky as hell to me. So that's the trouble with that. See, I mean, if you bring that in like that, you might say, "Oh, break, looking for a new high." But in all fairness, we have actually had a break. So I think it's risky to go long. I mean, that for me is a risky buy anyway, but you just don't know. It's pretty bullish at the moment, so you don't know whether it's going to go up or not. But in all honesty, I do not like the way that looks. Little bars like that, it's not often you see something that odd looking. But it could do either here. So I got no problem missing a trade. I'd say for certain that's likely to get stopped out. It depends because it is very bullish, but are you going to want to buy this at the moment? Are you going to want to sell it? It's way too far from the EMA anyway, but I always like to assume we've had a break because every time it comes out, you reset there is a time when you do reset it when it pushes up and continues and then comes back and continues again. Then obviously, we change and adjust, but the trouble is if we come down now and we get trapped, it'll be because we've already had a break and it's played out. So sometimes you look for longs here when we've had a break. Sometimes it'll work, but I like to just take the safe option and say, well, we've had a break and that channel has played out. So there's, that brings down the chance of it going higher maybe a bit. Although if you just take a wee glance at it, it's not stopping. Look, it's very bullish. Let's see where that ends. So there is a possibility of a bigger channel, a leg, 2 legs, a correction, a leg. Unfortunately, there's no real entry there. If you take that one, you're already up in the air, aren't you? Apart from that one, it is a bit frustrating when you take a point and get out here and it goes up about, 15, 18, something like that. What's that? 15 points. You took the long for 2 points. That one there. Good on you for holding on, mate. I lost my bottle when it did that. But the trouble is, when it starts going slow, I don't know. It's just confidence, really, isn't it? I mean, if you've been trading this for 5 years and making consistent money, then you probably hold on. Things are going well for me at the moment. The account's building nice, so I'm just trying to be extra cautious. So I'd rather guarantee myself a point. But I mean, the issue is it's just pre-market. It's a lot slower, so things just take a lot longer, and your nerves get rattled. You took that higher low. Oh, that one there. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that at all. I suppose my only slight concern is it depends how you've got your channel. For this, we're right up halfway in the top tier. But it's not a massive bar, and you have to take that into consideration. What is it? So if you have a tick above, tick below, you're talking 2.25 points max, which is pretty low on the low scale, isn't it? Trouble is, my only slight concern is it's a bit away from that EMA, and once you get here, you just don't know whether you come down to here before we run up, if we run up. Let's have a look. There is a second entry long there, or a possibility, so I'd be nervous about that. I'm assuming you're out of that, are you? What's it gone up? 1.25. Mind you, sometimes it's bullish. What do you do? I think it's just going to have another push again, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Trouble is, I wouldn't want to be buying here. This is, for me, not a place to buy. It's a place to stay and wait. I would want it either to come back to here or here. So I would say, times like this, I would expect it to come down. I always try and think, are people going to buy here? Or are they going to sell? Or are they going to sit tight? So for me, this is not a place I would want to buy. I'd want to buy here if the signal was good, or I'd want to buy here, but you just don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I just try to think about what, because obviously we're studying human behaviour, aren't we? Momentum strong, bars small. Yeah, bars are small actually. In fact, yeah, the ATR is very low actually. Sometimes, yeah, I've heard a few people say that when the bars are small and they're slowly grinding up, it's a strong market. And they're grinding up in this top tier, or when we've had a break and it's continuing up. So, yeah, it is strong, isn't it? The trouble is, for me, at some point, I just wouldn't want to buy there. Would I sell there? I'd rather sell than buy, but what I'd like to do is just sit out and wait for it to come further if I thought it was going to go up a bit more, but you just don't know. So there's a bear bar there which is triggered. That might, you know, a tick above there might continue that up. By the looks of things, that's what's going to happen. Easy way to get 1-to-1. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a big bar, is it? Where was it? Where'd you get in here? Where'd you get in? Oh, here, wasn't it? Yeah, there's definitely 3 or 4 points there for starters, isn't there? Oh yeah, easily. So it looks like this leg is going to be accurate. How strong is that though? I'm not a fan of that. Okay, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Up the leg. It is like a 2-tiered channel there, isn't it? Let's just kill this colour a minute. Yeah, we're pushing up in there. 2 legs back. There. Yeah, actually, when you look at it like that, it's quite a good trend, that. Trade. Anything along here, really. That's moved. That one has. That one has. It's embarrassing, isn't it? 1 point. Let's have a look. Where did I come out there? There. That took some balls holding that like that. And when that carried on. God, I'm a coward. I need to grow up here, don't I? Insight. I mean, if my accounts were bigger, I'd happily sit on that. I got no issues with that. I was risking on about $137 maximum on this. It's not a lot, is it really? Probably doesn't happen that I've won 11 trades out of 12. You want to try and keep that going, don't you? So sometimes I think you end up taking less points just to try and get it as a winning trade than than not. So, I mean, look what's happened. We're still in this like this. It's going sideways, which usually tells me it's probably going to push up. Very close to that. It looks like once we get above there, I'd say it's going to hit that thing without a doubt. Okay, so we're above there now. Let's see what happens. Or are we going to break? Sometimes we'll get very close and then we'll have a break and we sort of get another run up. I'm just going to get rid of this for a minute. So that looks like a channel. Does it? It's hard to say that. I think the proper way to do it is to do it like this, isn't it? Yeah, I think that is probably a better way of doing it. It might work out, but that looks right, doesn't it? That looks more accurate. And then we sort of come out a little bit, and now we're in this little section here. We're very close to this, so there's just you can't go long now, can you? So we're clearly working in there. Touch, 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 touch. Okay, so this is a break. Trouble is, this could come right down to this level, and if it is, there may be a bigger channel involved there. So let me just put that channel back just for a split second. So there, to there, to there. So that is a possibility. I'm just going to kill the colour because it's not guaranteed, but it's an area of interest. Leg, break, leg will bring us down to here. Maybe look for a higher low there. So well, that was sad news over the weekend about Matthew Perry, wasn't it? Real shame. 54, still young, really. Mind you, he did have long issues with drink and drugs. He was pretty open about that, wasn't he? So whether there was anything to do, I mean, it was in a jacuzzi, wasn't it? So it's not like it's deep enough to drown, but you don't know whether he was, under the influence of anything. He'd had long-term problems with it, but a real shame, real waste. I used to watch Friends. Yeah, I think most of us have at some point. It was a real shame. He was a really nice guy, wasn't he? Really very comical. And for me, he was one of the strongest characters in Friends. His wit was pretty funny. Real shame. Trouble is, sometimes when you get into that bubble, that fame and fortune and all that, I think there's a lot to be said. Be famous. I like the money, but the fame sounds good, doesn't it? And it probably is. But when you got, press all around the world constantly writing crap and lies about you, it's gonna take its toll, isn't it? The trouble is, once you get in that public eye like that, You're a target, aren't you? And once you're there, it's pretty hard to get out of it. Okay, so we've had like there's a couple of things going on. We've had a leg there with a break, in my opinion. It might be slightly larger, but we've got something smaller with a break. So I'd like to see another leg down here. If you connect the tops, gets nice spike and channel. You're not about where's the spike from? This channel here, Jay, or from the bottom? Okay, easiest way to do it is to connect the tops and then just see where the bottom's lying. So, are you about there? Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility, isn't it? Yeah. Let me just get rid of it in a minute. Just trying to figure something out here. It's coming out and going out, and it's I can't just. Sometimes you got to get rid of everything, haven't you? Let's have a look. Yeah, see, I don't like doing that because that's our second touch. And we're coming up to this now, aren't we? Trouble is, sometimes I always look at the bigger picture too early, and sometimes. Anyone know if you use Apex website to flatten, does it do both evars and PAs? Yeah, it does. Have a look. Yeah, if you click on flatten accounts and then just flatten, and it gives you the option of what accounts you've got available. So it'll show you any Apex. It'll show you Apex or PA, and just click flatten and select the accounts. Does it pretty quick, actually. Anytime, mate. Does it pretty quick. That's the first thing I always do. I rarely get a problem, but I have done in the past, and I've done that. And they have a record of it as well, because when I've had a problem in the past, they say you can. They saw I'd done it. There's a leg up, 2 legs of correction, another leg up. It looks like a 2-tiered channel for me, that. Could be just that, with a break and a new high, but we've hit that measured leg now, so. So, yeah, we've hit that measured leg really nicely. That's fine. That's fine. Look at that. Unbelievable. Look how accurate that is. Right to the nearest tick. Unbelievable. If you think the markets are random, they couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, look at that. Absolutely perfect. I've lined them up. I've just taken time to line them up perfectly, and look how that finishes. Unreal. Unreal. So I think now this is where this bigger channel is going to come into play. So what I'm going to do, let's put that there. Let's touch that there, and let's see how that works. That's not too bad. It's strong enough for me. What's the other line you have? 41.85. That line there was Friday's highs. I always put Friday's highs and well, the previous day obviously was Friday, and lows, because when it gets closer there, if there's a possibility of going long there, I always take caution now. If we come back and, you know, the measured leg was up here, I would just be a bit concerned about going along into that, because a lot of the times it'll use that as support and resistance. So that's the only reason I put it there. Reason being is I went along maybe, I don't know, 10 months ago, and it bounced and came back down, and I didn't know why, and someone says it was yesterday's highs. So I started putting them in, and I realised they can play a part. So, okay, so that's touching there. That's touching there. This is getting very close. Maybe, yeah, see, if I do it as a spike in a channel, that's going to be a bit further away, I'm hoping, because it's going sideways. It's going to go sideways and confirm that channel. But still going to be a bit cautious up here because we've had two perfect measured legs, so we could theoretically get a break or sideways. I'd like to, okay, so that's nice. I was hoping something like that would happen. Now, what I am seeing is a perfect measured leg. So if we can get a higher low here, I like that. I'm not taking this first one. I never do, because I found out sometimes it can be a bit problematic. But it does look like two lovely legs down. See, I can bring that down there a bit. That's not a problem. It works okay there. It works okay there. I can always sling that up a fraction. Let's leave it there. So, leg. I always get concerned about this first one. Sometimes you get trapped. If you've done anything wrong, see, so I always wait for a high low. Just gives it chance to trap me. So we try to go once, try to go twice. There's a failure there. If that triggers there and pushes up into a higher low, it's trapped the shorts. Although it hasn't triggered. I like it to trap the shorts, because this is areas where there's traps sometimes, and the way that's congested. Okay, so try once, try twice. I don't know whether anybody goes short there now. Maybe. Let's see if this triggers. I like the way it's touched there, and that's a good sign. See, as we've touched that, for me, if that was going to continue up, I'd expect that to push up nice and strong there. Yeah, I had my thoughts that was going to do that, because when we hit this, we came down. For me, once we ticked below there, if that was going to push up, it would have done it straight away. But it's come down. So let's test this theory for now. So let's just get rid of this. And let's try the spike and channel, see if that makes a difference. I feel it's come out a bit too far for that. Yeah, I think it has. So there's the spike and channel. Touch there, fits really nice on there. So there's a leg and a leg, so that might be a break. I always get cautious now, because so many times you'll get a leg, it'll push up, you'll get trapped, and it'll come down here, go sideways, and eventually work up. For some reason, over the last year, 18 months, it went from breaking to pushing higher quickly, and making a new extreme, to coming out, going sideways, and then eventually working up. So I just think it's risky. So I ain't getting involved here. Because I'm not 100% confident that I like what the channel's doing. That looks kind of nice. But depending on how you've got this, there's a multitude of things that could happen. We've got a smaller channel here, we've had a break in a new high, so that's finished. So it could come down now, really. In fact, just for a minute, I'm going to get rid of that. And let's do it this way. I'm going to do that for now. Break, another little channel break, new high. So we have made a new high. So leg up, 2 legs of correction. There may be something bigger there, but for me it's sort of curling over, so you can't really make a trend channel curl, can you? So I don't see, there's nothing I can really do here. Where'd you finish? Just keep going and going. So yeah, that looks like 2 separate. I like that, see, and then we've had a break and a new high from there. So this is probably going to come down, but I am still cautious about going short here because we could have a couple of legs and it may go up and make a new extreme. So yeah. Are you trying to unearth market structure with all those lines and channels? Are you trying to unearth market structure? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. If there's a bunch of different theories there, it could be something like that, which kind of fits. But I did just take that away, but actually it doesn't look too bad, does it? I actually kind of like that. High low above the EMA. I think we're making a new high bias is bullish. Yeah. Very subjective. Yeah. To be fair, mate, I'm just I'm a bit at a loss to how to do this. So that I can say, yeah, although it's a bit messy. That sort of works, and then we have a break and a push up, and then we seem to have 2 legs back, and it seems to be working in that level there. So I just tend to move stuff around until I think there looks somewhere right. That kind of looks okay, in which case we've had a break. Now, my only slight concern here is taking a higher low. I've done that before, thinking we're going to push up, make a new extreme, and we get trapped. So for me, this is a channel, and I fully expect this to make a new extreme, which is a new low. And I'd say if there's a long trade in there, I think that's going to trap some trades. For me, I've seen this a lot of times. I think this is going to come down below here. So there's a higher low there, so let's see if that triggers. Because I'm not a massive fan of this, although it does seem to be working okay. But for me, I fully expect that to come down, so that's what my bet is. So higher low there, let's see if that triggers. Okay, it's triggered. What are you using to determine if your expectations are true? What am I determining? All I'm trying to do, mate, is figure out what I think's going on. Now, we're clearly working up at the moment, and I'm just trying to figure out where I think the market's broken. Are we still in this channel? And I'm just thinking about what we're likely to do. Because obviously I've got to decide, am I looking for longs or am I looking for shorts, or am I not sure? So I'm just trying to figure out exactly what's going on so I can make an informed decision. It's just trying to work out what's going on. So then obviously you can make a decision. See, a lot of times you would want to go long there So there was a higher low there. But straight away to me, I've seen this pattern before, and you're going to, in my opinion, that for me is a trap. See, if you've got this channel like this, so that might be a failure, but for me, this, I've just seen this so many times. For me, that's going to get stopped out. So a lot of traders are going to be thinking there's a bigger leg going on. We've had a break. So what happens after we've had a break? We usually make a new extreme, yeah? But it depends how you've drawn this. If you've drawn a channel there and we've had a break and made a new high, we might not necessarily be looking for new highs. So this to me is looking like it's trapping long traders in there, because I think we've had a break in multiple times here. And we've got a channel working down with a break. And I see this all the time because I've gone long before lots of times and got trapped and thinking, why? We've had a channel up, we have a break, we're looking for a new high. So what I'm trying to do is spot areas where I think long. So for me, people who are taking a long then they've just got stopped out. I was hoping that was going to trigger. There was another long there, but that was going to get stopped out. But I knew that was going to happen because I've seen it so many times. So I'm just trying to figure out what we're likely to do now. But, you know, we've had a break. You could say a couple of legs, and now we're pushing up to make a new high. We pushed up above the EMA, came back, pushed up again. Higher low, triggered, came back down. Just took your profit flat for today. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to push up, but I've just seen this so many times, and I've got into trades here thinking new high, and I've been trapped. So I can just spot them now. And I think you just get used to spotting the areas where I've seen this before, and it's made me miserable. If that rule you are saying expect a new high, then why not automatic? Can't say that last word. Why not automate it? If that rule that you're saying expect a new high, then why not automate it? I'm not sure what you mean automate it. See, I trade PATS, price action trading system, okay? And according to Mac's rules, Mac's been trading for about 27 years as a consistent trader. And when you learn, I don't know what system you use, but when you learn PATS, the general rule of thumb is when we have a break from a trend, we usually make a new extreme. When I say new extreme, I mean in an uptrend, we make a new high. So usually when we have a breaks, market will try and break the highs, and that's usually pretty accurate. Okay, so I'm not looking for longs here because although I've got that channel drawn, I'm not that confident it's that accurate. If it's rule-based system, then it can be automated. Well, it probably can, but we don't take it like that. We wait for a setup and we take a setup and that's it. But for me, this is working in this area. But if I take that away, we've got a trend here. We've had a break and a new high. So technically that's trends played out. This, we've got another channel here. We have a break and make a new high. So that channel's played out. We've got another smaller channel here and we've had a break and made a new high. So in all three of those channels, we've broken it and made a new high. So the last channel to break a new high is here. So what happens after that? Market can reverse. So it's coming down. Now, sometimes when it keeps going up and up and up, we look for maybe there's a bigger channel playing out, in which case we'll still expect a break and a new high. But I'm just not a massive fan of that, which is telling me I'm concerned about going long. Now, I tell you for certain now, there'd have been longs taking that trade, and I can tell by the way that came down and took out their stops. We came down nice and quickly and took out any stops. Because if they've got this bigger channel drawn, people are looking for an entry to go long, because most of the time we make a new high in an uptrend. So as we came down like that, 2 legs down, we've had a break, we've had 1 leg and 2 legs down, and we're going a bit sideways, then we push up strong, come back, and have another bullish bar. Now, all right, it's a bit red, but it came back here and pushed up. So that is an area where I would say inexperienced traders will go long. And it triggered them, went sideways, and came down and took out stops. But as I'm not a massive fan of this bigger channel, I'm not taking anything like that, because my thoughts are this was the last channel, we've had a break and a new high, so it could reverse it may continue to go up. So that's all it is, really. But we don't sort of automate stuff. I'll put a trade in, but I don't have an automated system that just works based on rules. You know what I mean? I'm assuming you're on about some sort of automated strategy. No, I still got to read the charts. But, you know, there'd have been lots of times where I'd have taken trade like that, but I've learned. Always assume the worst. But as we have a break, and like, yeah, I got yeah. No, we don't tend to use anything like that. I've never even sort of entered into looking at that. But I know what you're saying. Because I believe you can set something up in NinjaTrader, set an automated strategy that trades based on certain parameters that you put in. Yeah, I've never looked into it, but no. But a lot of the time, see, we'll have these, and when it breaks and makes a new high, which is here, and continues to go up, then what we'll do then is maybe look for a bigger channel. In some cases, you have a bigger channel. And for us, really, our channels have got to be confirmed 3 times. So we touched it once, touched it twice, and touched it 3 times. But yes, it looks like there's a bigger channel. And do you know what I'm expecting to happen? I still think we're going to make a new high. But as this channel, this bigger channel, is broken into 3, there's going to be mixed feelings. So this is what I think is going to happen. We've got a leg down and another leg down. So I think we're going to make a measured leg and then continue to work up and eventually break this high. That's what I think we're going to do. If it's a really nice channel working perfectly multiple times and we have a break, usually we'll make a new high pretty quickly. So that's what I think we're going to do. Leg and leg. Obviously, market likes to move in 2s, as we know. So I think we're going to see 2 legs back because it is quite bullish today. I think we're going to have 1 leg back, 2 legs back, and then I think we're going to push up. I think we're going to push up something like that. Let's put it like that, just out of curiosity, just to see. Because I often do that, and it often works. Whether it'll be that wide or not, I don't know. But that's what I think, because it does look like there is a bigger pattern working. But it's not giving me enough confidence to want to go long this early in the game, because for me that was a trap, and it did exactly what I expected to. Trapped in some longs and turned down and stopped them out. So let's see what happens now. Let's see if it holds here. The pattern we can automate, but the context is, yeah, exactly. Context is everything. For me, learning the strategy is one thing. Applying it to the correct context is the real skill. And when I say a skill, it is a skill, but it's something that takes a long time watching markets, because after a while, when you lose trades, you know, for instance, when you get trapped to the wrong side, you get trapped a bunch of times and you start to learn those areas. You start to learn what the picture looks like. And, you know, when you see this picture and you like that, you know, we've had a break. We expect a new extreme. So we've had a break and we're actually pushing up now above the EMA. So that is telling us that the chances are we could now be pushing up. But because I think that is broken down into multiple sections and each channel is made a new high, for me, we're not in a rush to get up. So I've done that before, taken longs there and got trapped. But now I notice this. I see this pattern all the time. We have a channel down and then it starts to push up. You know, traps traders into thinking we're going to make a long. So I always avoid that now. And I would say 8 times out of 10, it does exactly what I expect. But it looks like we may have a full-on reversal here. We'll see. So it may just turn into being a bigger range day. It quite likely will be. So if you put it like that, if we come down here, bounce, up here, bounce, down here, bounce. So for me, it's likely, now we've come past that measured leg, it still may push up, but I think this is probably more like a reversal. Yeah, I don't think there's a bigger channel there. I'd say there is probably something like that. But what I will say is I get better and better all the time at staying out of trades and trades that turn out bad. and then you start to get a bit of confidence, then you're actually making some progress. Because it is hard, it takes a long time to learn to read these markets, but at some point they start to make sense, and you start to, what I found is the biggest change for me, I know areas where to stay out now, and I wait for good setups and I take them, and most of the time they work, but obviously taking good setups, you've got to learn to spot bad setups and where you're getting trapped. So at the moment I'm on 12 trades. The last 12 trades I've lost one of them, so I'm doing something right. So I'm trading at about 91% at the moment, and my average I think is about a point and a half profits. My average, there's obviously some you get out a bit early, some you get 3 points. That one I got a point. I've got out for like 3 or 4 ticks, 2 or 3 ticks in the past. What moves markets? Well, money going into them, liquidity, obviously. But I don't know too much about the technical side of it. I don't know too much about the algorithms that run the markets and that. But, I mean, you would think liquidity, just large amounts of liquidity, obviously. Not larger than we're using. But I don't know so much about the technical side as I'm not. So I'm just sort of orders move markets. Well, yeah, orders. What's an order? It's people trading, isn't it? It's money, it's liquidity, isn't it? Yeah. If I put money in, I'm adding liquidity to the market, and if I take a trade, it's an order, isn't it? So yeah. Hey Kev, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? So channel down there, break new low. So there is some support along there. So will we bounce? Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Daughter's hanging around at the moment, getting all excited. Diddly. Aggressive buyers and sellers, not lines on charts, not channels, not RSI. Another such nonsense. Well, I don't call this nonsense. Hey Clay, how you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. I did, mate. Thanks very much. Hope you had one too. Yeah, it went quick, I've got to say. We obviously lost an hour in the UK, so it's an hour early, but I believe you US guys move forward next week, I think, don't you? So yeah, I remember, was it April when we went forward? Or was it last week? I can't remember. Was it last year? I can't remember. Not till November. Yeah, isn't it usually the first week? It's just about a week. I think it's next. Next Sunday. Because I know I did my stream, I think, the last time it happened, and everyone was sat here for an hour. I did click. I just turned up at my normal time, but I was aware of it this time. November the 55th. That's a new one. I think they've added a few extra days. Yeah, it's November the 5th, isn't it? Yeah. It's nearly November, yeah, day after tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's the 5th, mate. I think you go forward. Let's have a look. The 5th is a Sunday. Yes, the 5th. Yeah, November the 5th. Bonfire night. You guys don't have bonfire night, do you? You didn't have bonfire night, do you? No, it's a UK thing, I think. Crypto traders. So, question is, how can we measure the amount of orders being made? A lot of questions from you, mate. So, how can we measure the amount of orders being made? Measure them. Well, you can. The trader. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're asking a non-professional here. I'm a guy who's been trading for 3 years, so you've got things like volume profile, book map. There's the order flow. There's all sorts of stuff you can. But you're asking the wrong person, really, mate. I'm not an expert here. Delta, absolutely. There's loads of different stuff, but this is what I trade is max system. It's pure price action. That's it. We don't use any indicators bar the 21-day exponential moving average. That is the only indicator we use. It's pure price action. 2 things missing from your chart. Well, maybe on your strategy, but not mine. Go on, tell me. What things? Only measures aggressive orders. What do you think's missing from my chart? See, it depends what strategy, volume or delta. Yeah, this system is pure price action. We don't use volume. We don't use delta. We don't use MACDs. We don't use RSI. We don't use any of those. I've tried using bits of stuff, but it takes us away from the system is subjective. Look, this is price action. Yeah. Now, this has enabled me to win 11 out of the last trades I've done. What are people doing on your stream with different strategies? Let them trade their own. Yeah, I mean, there is different strategies. So yeah, there's so many different ways to trade the market. I trade max system, or PAT system as he calls it, pure price action. And we trade our price action with that's all we use. The only indicator I use is that 21-day exponential moving averages. The rest are simply trend channels and range channels. Obviously I'm aware of things like the current low of the day, the open of the day, the current highs of the day. And all I add to that is Friday's highs, Friday's lows, because a lot of times it bounces here. So if I'm thinking about taking a long year, I'm going to think twice. And the only other thing I've got up there is we had a gap the other day, which hasn't been filled. So if it does get up to this level, this is just an area. So you're asking me all these questions. Why are you asking me questions if you know what these things are? You're testing me today. I'm a trader that's been trading just for 3 years, so. But there is, people log on to here, I think mainly just for a bit of company, just to, see what other people's taking as the market. Interrogate. I'm married. I'm used to interrogation, mate. I watch you for quite some time and I can hear from what you're saying you have no confidence or conviction. You think? Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I've been trading. It's all right, Chris. He can have his say. I don't mind. As long as people are polite. I've been trading this system for 2.5 years. And trading takes a long time to learn. And yeah, I'd say confidence sometimes is an issue for me. It is. It probably is for a lot of traders, but it's part of it. You grow with it. It takes time. I've been trading a total of 3 years. 3 years is not a long time to learn to trade. And it does take time. I've never had any sort of formal training. I've never worked in any sort of investment banks. I've never had a proper structured training with support and all this sort of thing. So yeah, it does take time. I'm trying to advise you, maybe what you're doing isn't the best. Well, I've been doing PATs now for that's fine. I've been doing PATs now for 2.5 years. And the main issue I've had is with things like revenge trading, which you get. It doesn't matter what form of or what type of strategy you use. Obviously, revenge trading is just one of those things that people find difficult to, with the emotional side of losing. And one thing I've changed recently, is bringing down my risk. Now, one thing I've heard lots of traders say over the years is every new trader or inexperienced trader trades too much. And I've been trading 2 contracts on my PA accounts, and it's just caused me problems when I've had a certain amount of losses. So I've decided to reduce my risk to 1 contract, which is around about 5% maximum risk, and it's making a difference. So I'm careful, and I've traded now for the last 2 weeks. Over the last 2 weeks, I've taken 12 trades, and I've won 11 of them. So what I'm doing is working, and it does work. It's very accurate, this, and you can have very, very high percentage win rates. After 2 years, you should be 99% confident in your trades, know when they are working. Well, it depends. If you've been trading full-time for 2 years, maybe. If you've been trading 2, 3, 4 hours a week, maybe not. But, it takes time. I've had issues with if I see a brilliant setup, I can't click that button enough. But everyone's different. There's no should this or should that. Everyone's different. What works for one doesn't necessarily work for another. But if I see a certain trade, like I was 100% confident that was a trap, and it was, because I've seen it, done it before. So if I see a really good setup, I'll 100% be confident. And what I will tell you is, if I get a perfect second entry long that looks exactly how I want it to long, I can tell you now it will not fail. So, what I come over and what you think I might be, lack of confidence. I am in the right scenario, but it takes time. It takes time. You'll struggle. Yeah, it is. I don't mind people having this say. Some people, they question it. And not just that. If crypto tick trader's got a great system that works for him, I suppose it's only natural. You might want to say to someone, my way works good. But as I say, there's so many different ways to trade, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. But what I've been led to believe so far, it's not the system, it's not the strategy. It's always there's so many different strategies, and most of them will work okay. But it's your it's how you it's you, basically, down to you. You're risking too much, or you're taking poor quality setups. Here's something to think about. Forget about one particular setup. Al Brooks says, if you know what you are doing, you can trade every 5 minutes. Yeah, I think Mac's system derived from Al Brooks's way of thinking. But Al Brooks, doesn't he go for literally smaller risks, doesn't he? Lots of smaller risks. But there's so many different strategies. You can trade daily, you can swing trade over a couple of days, you can trade the hourly, 4 hours. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. So I tend to ideally look for a couple of trades a day. This is basically this sort of thing. I like to get a couple of trades a day. And my target at the moment is $100 a day on one account. Yes, I know I'm day trading, but what I'm saying is you can day trade the hourly, the 4 hourly, the 1 hourly, the 30 minutes, the 15 minutes, the 5 minutes. I'm trading the 2,000 tick. I've got the 10,000 tick. But there are multiple different ways and time frames you can trade. But my target is $100 a day on one PA account, and if I have 10 PA accounts, that's $1,000 a day, and so on. So my drawdown at the moment is $2,500, and my target is $100 a day. So if you think about the percentage of that, it's very good. It's a very good win rate. If I can make $100 a day on average, that's $2,000 a month, and that's with a $2,500 pot. So if you can make $2,000 over the last 2 weeks, I've made a little over $1,000 with a $2,500 account. So I've made about 40% profit in 2 weeks. So for me, 40% profit in 2 weeks is brilliant. I'm absolutely happy with that. You know, if I could make 40% profit in a month, I think that's still brilliant. So, but yeah, I believe it's built from Al Brooks, but obviously Max tuned his. But Mac's been trading, I believe, 28 years. He's a very successful trader. He's been a full-time trader for 28 years. He's also been teaching for about 12 or 13 years. He's got videos on YouTube going back about 12 years. So he's very successful at what he does, and he's fine-tuned this thing down. And it's just the system it's the system that works for me. I started it. We all start a certain way. I think how about thinking I'll take what the market gives me, be that 50 or 5. I absolutely do. When I say a target, it's an area I liked. It's a goal. But if I only get this $50 today, I've got no issues with walking away. Was a day last week I walked away on zero, never took a trade. I've got no problem whatsoever. So I've got no issues with that. I take what the market gives me. I don't force it. But what I seem to be averaging is around about 2 points a day. That's what I've averaged over the last 2 weeks, which is a little over $1,000. Excuse me a second. Okay, excuse me, sorry about that. Okay, second entry short. Yeah, I'm not interested in taking a trade here. Reason being, it's a little bit congested. Let's have a look. We've got a leg up and a leg up. It's probably not that bad. My slight concern is we're a little bit congested here, so I'm just sitting tight. All I'm after is a couple of trades maximum a day. Yeah, if it's congested, the trouble is I'm not 100% sure this channel's right. Now, what I will say is it's touched there and it's touched there a bunch of times. So I kind of like that. I think it's likely if it comes this way to touch here. But I like the way it's fitting down the bottom. Now, we're clearly coming down after that big push-up. So I think it's likely we may be in a range day at the moment. But that will probably come down. But as it's going sideways, it could come sideways to here. So it may just take that out. But I'm just sitting tight at the moment. Let's have a look. Name thoughts on buying a few eval accounts when it's 90% off, passing the challenge in one big trade and then sticking to small trades when you get. That's what I tend to do myself. But everyone's different. Some people like to trade it small and take their time. Other people, you go for maybe a little bit more contracts. It's a personal thing, really. So look for a breakout trade, but how do you know if it's going to work? Well, we're coming down here on a channel, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. So we've touched it 3 times there. So that's pushed up and it's pulled down bearish. So I'd say there's a good chance that's going to come down. Yeah. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing's set in stone. But you read the markets, and we use trend channels and range channels, and it gives us an area of where it's likely. So we had a channel up here. We had a leg back, a break, and a new low. Okay. We had a big bullish bar which pushed up. And then this bar here where I took, it pushed up, it came down, buyers pushed it back up. That is a setup for us called a high low, and it worked. I take this. It's not set in stone. It's like any strategy. We have a set of rules. There's a lower high there. My slight issue with that is we are going a bit sideways, but I actually don't think it's a bad trade. We are coming down. In fact,
order submitted.
I'm going to take that.
Order filled.
I'm just going to get out the bottom here. We are bearish at the moment. Let's see. So we got a leg up, bearish bar and a lower high right at the EMA. I kind of like it there. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to get out for a 1.5 here. Excuse me. Perhaps I should have gone out there. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not focusing on what I'm doing now. I do feel like I'm getting interrogated, but you know, at the end of the day, you have to do what you do. I do what I do, and that's how things go. I need to focus instead of talking so much now. Right, sorry, Crypto Budge, you fry my brain here a minute, and I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing, so I'm just seem to be being a bit interrogated, so I've had to bin you a bit now, mate, so I apologise about that. I'm going to take that one tick up.
Stop filled.
It took me out. Right, he's just riling me up a little bit now, and I've just taken something I probably should have done, so I've just had to bin him. He's a bit annoying. Question, interrogating. Yeah, I don't know. He was just going on and on a bit too much there, and he just annoyed me. So I've got rid of him. There we go. Anyway, so well, that's a losing trade there. That's a bit frustrating. I'm a little bit peed off actually, because he's a bit annoying. I should have knocked him on the head a bit earlier. Let's see what you did, Crypto. You made us all go broke. Yeah. I'm just not concentrating on what I'm doing. He's niggling me a bit, so I'm just I try to bring everyone down. Yeah, so let's just carry on anyway. So that's a bit frustrating because I went to move that up an extra tick. There's a failure there. Trying to go once, try to go twice. There's a failure there.
Order submitted.
I like that because it came up a tick, took me out, and then came back. Come and get me. Yeah, I know, mate. It was. It's my fault anyway, but oh well.
Order cancelled.
I could see him. I can hear him playing in the back of my head a bit there, but there, there we go. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there's a failure there. Second entry long, which triggered a failure. We are heading for that gap, it seems. Your recent win rate is still super hot. Yeah, it's all right. I'm not focusing on what I'm doing. So yeah, we got a gap down, didn't we? That's what I kind of like. I like the failure. I went to move that up a tick, but I wasn't quite quick enough. I wish I had done now. Sometimes it makes a difference in here. But we seem to be coming down. So yeah, well, I like the way we had that bullish bar, which wasn't off the bottom. I had a feeling this was going to do that. See if we can retest the bottom of this. I don't know why people have got to question you. Crypto tick trader, where have I seen him before? It just seemed to have 1,000 interrogating questions there. Oh well. Okay, see if we can retest this. Where's that gap down here? Below there, isn't it? Ooh, hello. Let's see if we touch this top here. We tried some shorts, yeah, I think we did. So what did I lose there? What was that? 2.75. Okay. So okay, oh, that's not very well. Okay, see if we're going to touch this side again. Okay, gone up touch there and pushed down. Just not sure about that. It's very wicky. I like the way it's pushed up and just touched that line and quickly come down, but you're in there, are you? I'm just not a fan of this. It's got a leg up sideways. We could make another leg up here. You shorted the bottom of a trading range. Shorted. There I did. I didn't go at the bottom. For me, we come down. We were going sideways, and it looked like a lower high. Did actually come down, but it ticked me out for one tick. Sometimes I'll give it an extra tick, but I didn't there. But Let's have a look. So we've got a touch here, touch there. See what happens here. See if we can get a lower high here. See what happens. That's going to have a little pop up, I think. Yeah, it was a shame. I was happy to just get out for, I think it was a 1.5. And it just missed me by a tick. So, yeah, I was just there, missed us by a tick. Oh, well, life, it is what it is. Yeah, cheers, Clay. It wasn't really his fault. I was just a bit. I was just feeling I was getting more and more narked, and it takes away your calmness, doesn't it, and your patience. And once your patience starts to go, you tend to take easier trades. But that's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, I've got rid of him now. I don't know why some people do that. They just sort of want to try and get under your skin. Someone did say block him a bit earlier. Perhaps I should have done. Okay, I had a feeling we're going to get this, so let's have a look. Lewis Hill, anyway, I can't bear to watch this anymore. Leg up, leg up. Are you on about short at the bottom of a trading range? The bottom of the trading range is down here, isn't it? I think Lewis Hill and What's It are one of the same people, I think, by the sounds of things. I didn't blame him. I just said he riled me and I lost my patience. I wouldn't call that the bottom. We're in a channel at the moment. And I took that. It took me out for one tick and it did make 5 points, didn't it, or whatever. So that one would have been better, the failure, but took that one. It did make 5 points, so... So, leg. Mm-mm. So a leg and a leg. Let's see if we do come down and make a new extreme. Let's have a look. So that gap, I think it's likely that gap's going to get filled. Let's see if we can push below here. Okay, excuse me just 1 second. Okay, so we get on. Leg. So we come down on 2 legs of correction. I wonder if we're coming down here. Let's have a look. Well, I took that last trade. It's just because we're pushing down here. We hit the top there. That was a higher low. I thought we were going to come down, which we did. Unfortunately, it came out and took me out for 1 tick before it did. But for me, we come down. We'd had 2 legs of correction, and that was a lower high. Looked like it might have trapped some longs. And for me, I only wanted 6 ticks out of it. It missed me by a tick, but it came out and just took me out for a tick before it pushed down. Okay, there's a lower high there. Channel down. I think it's likely we're going to make a new low here. We'll have to see. I like the way we've pushed down and retested this top. My only slight issue is I'm shorting right into that midline there, so I'd say that is likely to get stopped out. Yeah, I thought as much. What is going on here? Can I get you guys to click that like button, can you? Is that all right? I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit. Okay, so sideways. Let's see. Yeah, there's a channel there. We worked our way down to there. I'm not sure if there's a channel there. Let me just let's see if we get something from Mac yet. Cheers, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see what we got from Mac. Okay, so he's got it how I had it, I think, from there to there. Yeah. Yeah, that's how Mac's got it, so maybe we're going to have a leg and a leg and come down, I don't know. That's Mac's basically. Exactly the same as ours, really. From here to here, he's got these two channels down here. A little bit of side was there. Shame about that one, but there you go. Slightly risky. Where was it? Which one did I take? That one there, wasn't it? Yeah, shame really, because it did come where I expected. Unfortunately, it came back and took me out for a tick. Check his remarks. I didn't say that. I actually never read them, to be fair. Let's have a look. Oversold territory. Thanks, Kev. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. There's been a couple before. Some people just want to sort of pick and niggle. I don't quite know why they do it, but yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. I appreciate that. I think this information should be shared just in case. I have no idea what's going to happen over the next 2 days, so make sure you hear that clearly. However, I have heard from people in the know that they have on the pulse of the market. To this source, they are expecting a large sell-off and possibly a crash in the markets over the next couple of days. Interesting. Again, this may be nothing, might be completely wrong. Oh, interesting. So they could. People sort of in the know that Mac knows think there may well be a crash in the markets over the coming days. So that's interesting to know. Now, I suppose the thing about a crash is even if you're in a trade, it'll let you stop anyway. It's the news events that where everyone's got their finger on the button, but that'll be interesting, a crash if there is one. I've not really seen one. I've seen it go down a fair few points, but are they saying that there will be a crash? Yeah, a possible. Max talked to people with sort of their finger on the pulse, so to speak, in the know, and they think it's likely there may be a crash in the coming days. That's all he knows, but he did say it may be nothing, but, you know, just be aware of it. So... See, stuff like that, crashes don't just happen in a split second. So if the market does happen to start to go down and people jump on, obviously if your stop's there, it'll get it way before that happens. I think the only thing really that affects us is if you accidentally trade with the news, because about 3 or 4 months ago we had a 55-point green bar. So if you got a stop there and it shot up 55 points, I've had that before. I traded in the news accidentally it was a year and a half ago, and I had a 2-point stop and it turned into a 5-point stop. So, but market crashes, I don't think have a major issue. I expect all it would maybe affect if you've got a runner and maybe keep your runners tight. Well, I don't quite know. I'm sort of as I've been doing this trading complete for 3 years, which really is still sort of in the infancy of my trading career. So. I don't know what type of effects things like that can have. Okay, so we got a leg and a leg. Now, we've got a channel down here. Max got that channel drawn, and I think it looks okay. And there's a leg and a leg. So we may have 2 legs up, and we may come down and retest the overnight lows. So we shall see. Where's the night thing there? That's where it is, isn't it? So, no. I'm thinking of. This week FOMC meeting can be pretty volatile. Yeah, it certainly can. I think is it tomorrow or the day after? We almost got that measured pullback. Yeah. Shame about that. To be fair, I was going to move my profit up a tick there. I only wanted to get out the bottom. Unfortunately, it was a tick off, but I went to move that up 1 tick, and it just clipped me. And if I had done, it would have held, which is a bit frustrating. But there you go. I'd have been happy with a point there. Where was it? So I got in here. I'd have got a point there. Well, yeah, I suppose. If you don't break the high, expect another leg down. What high are you on about? Up here, you mean? Highs of the day, you mean? See, we've got a channel there, haven't we? So it could be just a couple of legs up and then maybe just a slightly bigger pullback before we come down. It's hard to say, isn't it? So, what I don't understand, if the markets are oversold, why would we expect a crash? If they're oversold, you would think they would be due to go up. Is that right? Am I not getting it right? I don't know. I'll have another good read of that later. In fact, I would expect Mac to probably mention something in his bar by bar tonight. Yeah, I'll have another read of that later, Jay. So yeah, you would think if markets are oversold, in other words, they're down too much, you would think they would go the opposite way, wouldn't you? But I don't know. I don't know how it all works, in all fairness. Let me have a look. Come down, up, down. Okay, so we're very close to that measured leg. We're a tick off it and it's turned. So let's see what happens there. Yes, if I look at the 10,000 tick chart, we've had sort of, this is what Mac's drawn from the tops to the bottoms here, like this. So leg and a leg. There is a possibility we could make a new low. We haven't. We're obviously a ways from the lows of the day, but there is that gap as well. So that is there a gap here? There is. That might need filling. So leg. We'll see. It's a possibility. It's just if it does break out here and retest it, then. Okay, leg. It may just be a bigger channel, but we'll soon find out if it does start working higher. But I have an inkling that we may come down and make a new low here. It might just be a break out of this. We'll see. She will range price come off the highs, so it may try to retest the lows. Yeah, just something to think about. I mean, we got a leg down it, and we've had a break. We've had a break clearly, and it's a couple of legs. So I'm not saying it definitely will, but it certainly could do. I'm certainly not thinking about going long yet. Now, if it bounces off here and starts working up there, then obviously, I'm thinking long. But the bit that interests me in it still hasn't finished is because we haven't come nowhere near to the lows. We got the overnight lows here, but there's a gap as well. Often that gap gets filled, but we're still missing a gap from a few days ago. So it's just a possibility. So if we do come crashing down and continue down, then it does a bit, doesn't it? Okay, so it's just done what we didn't want it to do and hold that line. So we'll see. I'm going to let it sort itself out anyway. It just looks a bit clear on the 10,000 tick chart, but It might just be 2 legs up and then back to the trend channel and then continuing up. That's possible, but it's just sitting and waiting and see what goes on. I want to see 2 clear attempts to make a new low. Yeah. So I don't think that is valid. Let's just leave that like that. Leg down. I'd like to see 2 attempts to push higher. There is a lower high there, but it's just way too far from here. There's too much of a gap up here. It may come down. It probably will, but it has triggered below, so it could come and stop that out. So I'm just sitting tight here. We're below that possible trend channel anyway. Now, I don't think it is, in all fairness. I have a feeling it's going to drop down pretty sharply. once, travel twice, just too far from the EMA, really. I would say it's likely to come down. We're quite a bit from the lows of the day. It does seem like it's ranging. We've gone up, we've come down. We've had a couple of legs for a break. I'd say it's likely going to come down. Channel down break. We've already made a new low, so you just don't know, do you? But this is looking. The whole feel is bearish at the moment, I'd say. There is a failure there, but just we're at the lows after this, and we're too far from the EMA in all fairness, so there's nothing I can really do here. I have a feeling it's just going to come down. Like, what I want is a couple of legs back up to the EMA, and then would maybe then give us a slightly wider channel, that type of thing. A couple of pushes up. I had a feeling it was just going to drop. It often does when it's working its way where I think it's going to go. It holds, and then just drops. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit too. I don't know. It's just too far from the EMA. I've had a win and a loss. That loss, I think it's more important than ever to get a win after a loss. But the beauty of only trading one contract is the loss is on a lot, to be fair. Okay. Okay, where are we? So there is potential to come right down here. So what I'd like is a proper pullback. After this leg down, 2 legs of correction, another leg down. We've got to have a pullback here to go lower to break these lows or potentially fill this gap. So I would say what I would be looking for is something like that. Couple of legs up and then a wider channel. I don't want to come straight down here. And I'm hoping we do, because if we do get a pullback, let's get rid of this. I don't think we need it. So it's just 2 legs. So we got a leg down, 2 legs of correction, and I expect another leg down, which would fill this gap, hopefully. Let me have a look. So touch, touch, touch. That would take us where? Oh, yeah, right where we want to be. So delete. Okay. So that's what I think is likely, and it would get us close to finishing that. Is that more or less where we need to be? Yeah, it's a couple of ticks off it, isn't it? So yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, we're literally a tick above filling that gap there with that leg. So a leg and a leg. Now at the end of the day, my first sort of port of call is this: is the lows of the day or the open. But if we can get a couple of legs up, in fact, let's just remove that for the minute. It might confuse things. So a leg down, 2 legs of correction, another leg down. Okay, now a little pull up. Come on. Okay, keep going. Okay, let's go in order already.
Order
just
submitted.
Leg. My only slight concern about this is it's too far for the EMA. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but trouble is, I think I'm not a fan of it. I would like to get slightly wider to come down to this area here. That's not wide enough for me. Fortunately, the bar's finished naff, so maybe we'll go up some more. So let's just put that like that.
Order cancelled.
Okay, break. Sellers on order relentless. Hey, Dr. Lenny, how you doing, mate? Okay, little leg. Let's see if we can now break another leg up, and then that would interest me, and maybe a short. Right, okay. So, Resi, where you from, bud? I've just noticed you subscribed last night. You're a new face. Welcome. Where you from, bud? Are you from the US like most of you other guys? I'm surrounded at the moment. I'm surrounded by you over the pond, guys. So we got a leg up, a break, another leg up. Push up like that and a bearish bar would be beautiful. Okay, everyone, please hit the like button. Oh, yeah, if you can hit the like button, I don't mind. Yeah, Chicago. Chicago. Someone else from Chicago, actually. Who else is from Chicago? Someone else. Someone else.
Order
like the
submitted.
Windy City, they call it, don't they? Never done the States yet, but I intend to at some point. Okay, that is flickering, and I like it. That usually means it might move pretty quick. A lot of your fam. Oh, South London, I got you. Yeah. I used to go to an air show. They used to have in South London a place called Biggin Hill. And I used to go there most years. Used to see all the old Warbirds, the old Spitfires and Hurricanes and all that. It's a lovely area, that is South London. I got a nephew. Well, Brighton, that's more north, south, east. Yeah, South London, but it's South London, that is, isn't it? Yeah, feel like trading like a secret in Britain. I feel like trading's like a secret in Britain. You think so? Okay, so we've got a leg and a leg. Let's see what happens here. I want this to slow. Just wondering whether this is playing a part. I wonder. Oh, yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you. What is going on here? Leg down, I really expect it to hit these lows, and the way we've had 2 legs up, nice measured move, strong leg down, I'm really expecting it to come. So we've had a little leg and a break. We get a nice strong bear bar now. Let's have a look. So we've got a channel down, 2 legs of correction, leg, leg. A nice big bear bar now. Depending on how it finishes, it may be waiting for a lower high. So we've got a leg down, little channel break, new high, bear bar, looking for a lower high, I think. Yeah, we got a lower high. That's not bearish enough. If it was strong bearish below here, then that may interest me. But let me just move this over here a bit. So we'll leg down, one attempt to go higher. Oh, that's tempting. Not now. Pass 3 bells today. Good on you, mate. Better disconnect from a rhythm before I accidentally do something stupid and lose it. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you, lad. Okay, let's
Order
get rid
cancelled.
of this. What is going on here? Okay, there's the midline there of this top and bottom, so it may use the midline. Don't keep going up, will you? Okay, just may need to hit the midline. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, it's a bit unpredictable now. After that break, I expected to come down, especially after we've had this channel and then a couple of legs, followed by a big, strong drop, or relatively strong drop of about, what did it go down? 15 points. 5, 10, 15 points. You could argue that was the channel. We had a break and a new low. Yeah. In fact, we've got a gap here from about 3 or 4 days ago that still hasn't been filled. Here. Which is why I put that little thing there. So Max says we're oversold. So you'd think if we're oversold, surely we would be in line for a pump. You would think so, wouldn't you? Or am I reading it wrong? Okay, this doesn't look like it's slowing down, does it? Clay, you a penguin guy or not? I'm not sure you the penguin. You do the penguin trades. I'm just wondering, is that a leg down? Try to go once, try to go twice, failure, come back down. Does that look like a leg? I don't class that as a push-up. I suppose you could, couldn't you? But that's the proper push-up, isn't it? Followed by a second push-up. I wonder. Just from a penguin point of view, if you look at the 10,000 tick chart, we've got a leg down, made one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Yeah, I think it's likely we're going to come down based on what I can see here. With the overnight highs, where do you consider the overnight highs? Here? Trouble is, are they here, 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 here? That's the trouble. I don't know how you see. Obviously, overnight highs for you guys is in the middle of the day for us. This area here is about, what, 10, 11 o'clock UK time here, so it's more mid-morning highs. Okay, so we've got a leg down. We've got a couple of attempts to go higher. We had that one, came down. We got a second one, so usually the second time you would think it would fail. So we've had this channel, we've had a small break of that. Let's see what happens. We might be oversold on the chart, but I think that Matt was talking about stock event driving price. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, so you're not necessarily talking about the S&P 500 per se, more about stocks in general. Uh, 1467, 1467. 1467. Okay, so probably about here, yeah. Yeah, probably about there. Yeah, so lows here, aren't we? So yeah. So we call that the overnight. Let's call that for argument's sake. A little bit high there, but right decision this week, Wednesday, could range until 2 p.m. Yeah, on our charts. Yeah, trouble is, you know, we're there. It depends where you class it, really, isn't it? Sometimes, I mean, obviously overnight lows, it's straightforward, isn't it? But I like what we've done there. We've had a quick drop, so hopefully we'll continue down, because if I look on the 10,000 tick chart from a penguin point of view, we've got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. If that fails below the EMA, I would expect that to go back, because really, in the bigger scale, it's just a second entry short, isn't it? One leg up, two legs up, and then down. My only slight concern about going short is we've had a break out of this channel, so we could make a new extreme. Having said that, if you wanted to be picky, you could do that. Like this, leg, break, leg, leg, break, leg. So really, depending on how you see that, you could call that a leg. Touch, touch, break, new high. I have a feeling this is coming down. Leg, one leg, two legs. If we can get a lower high here, or a failure or something, for me, leg, break, leg, leg, break, leg. Unfortunately, I haven't ticked above there, so I can't exactly take that as a high or low, although pretty confident that we're going to come down. We've got a leg, break, leg, leg, break, leg, making continuous lower highs. Does look like a leg down. One push-up, second push-up failure. And down we come, but we need a better setup than this. A little break here, maybe up to the midline. Something similar to this. Down and break to the midline. And then down. Let's just get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
5. Forgot it takes a week for clocks to... Yes, it does, mate. I know that because I was sat here. I was an hour late last year, this time last year. Yeah. You're an hour late today. Yeah, I remembered. When was it? March. We went forward in March and I was an hour late. Leg, 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 leg. Stupid daylight savings, right? Yeah, I can't see what makes it. I've heard multiple stories why they do it, but I don't really know. I mean, originally I heard it was Hitler that did it during the war, but I don't quite know why. But I've heard multiple reasons, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there has been talk in the past that they were going to stop it, but I don't know. I suppose a lot is down to Europe now, isn't it? I don't know. Okay, so what I'd like to see, we've had a channel down there, a break, one high. I'd like to see that finish there and trigger. Trigger a long. So, leg down, 2 legs of correction, 1 leg down. Okay, second entry short, maybe. Okay, that doesn't like it's slowing down, does it?
Order cancelled.
Oh, I don't know. So we've got a channel, we've got a break, 2 legs up, possible second entry short. Oh, I don't know. If this ends up bearish, I might be looking for a lower high down here. Order cancelled. Yeah, you can change them apparently. I don't know how to, but I have seen a video on how to do it. You can change the words I mean, we were discussing last week whether when you take a loss, Ninja Trader automatically hooks you up to a therapist so they can talk you down from revenge trading. Might not be a bad idea. So this is just getting a bit you know, so we had this leg down, okay, 1, 2 legs up, so 2 legs of correction, and then we had a nice leg down, 2 legs up, and the high was lower than the previous high, so we got a channel down. I was hoping we may have a bit of a break, and then down to the bottoms. There might be a second entry short. Unfortunately, I avoid the first one because I want to avoid the trap, because if that triggers, it's a failed second entry short, and it could stop you out. So I tend to wait for the lower high. If we get a leg down and we get a lower high, pretty sure we're going to make another leg down. If we're down here below there, the next point of call really is the lows of the day. Is the open, followed by the lows of the day, followed by this potential leg. But it's just I can't get involved in a second entry short there because it's going a little bit stagnant, so it's a bit hard. We could sort of be ranging a bit. It's a possibility. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't argue about that, would you? It certainly looks like it. Leg down, ranging a bit. I do expect it to push down. We got a leg with a break. It's only really touched once up here and once down the bottom, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. The 4-hour candle got rejected from the EMA. Seems we are still bearish. Yeah, I'm only really looking for shorts, but I'd like it to break below here and then maybe come down for a lower high. I don't mind going short close to those lows because there's a leg down and I think it's fair we're going to get down to at least here. So we're going to break 2 legs up. Unfortunately, it's going a bit sideways here, so I want that to break below there. Okay, I need that to stay bearish. If it stays bearish, I think that's a good sign. We look for a lower high then. Come on, close down here. Okay, close enough. So if we can get a lower high now, that may interest me. So we've had a break. 1, looks like 2 legs up. The second one's obviously a little bit bigger. But it's also a failed second entry short, so we'll see. So just quickly glancing on the 10 second chart, 10,000 tick chart, we've got a leg down, trying to go once, trying to go twice. It looks like a penguin trade, which is triggered. It's okay to come back a bit, that's fine, I'd expect that. Obviously this is the bigger, bigger time frame, but that looks right to me. We got a leg down, made 1 attempt to go higher, came down, made a second attempt to go higher, nice bearish bar, closed below the EMA. I'd expect that to come down, at least to break the lows. Now, it's all right having a little pullback, that's fine. But that's what I'm seeing. It's looking bearish, and same again, this high's lower than that, so it looks like a leg, came down and had another go. So that's what I'm thinking, but obviously I think Mac would say this isn't easy trading. No, it's not. It's just a bit choppy and a bit yeah, see, I'm thinking coming down, but market doesn't look like it's having none of it, but it's a bit choppy, isn't it? It's unpredictable. After this, see, a couple of legs, I'd expect it to come down and make a new lows, but it doesn't. So trouble is, when it's like this, you've just got to try and just be a little bit patient and sit down. Now, after that loss, normally if that had been on 2 contracts, I'd have been 275 down. I've been pretty eager to get back into a trade, but now I'm only trading 1 contract. I don't have that urge so much. I'm quite happy to sit back, and I'm quite happy to finish. I'm $87 down for the day, so it's neither here nor there, is it really? Some days you can. I've had probably about eight green days in a row, something like that. 8-9 green days in a row, something like that. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to end up a day's part of it, but trading on 1 contract it's not as painful. Is Mac God and Lance is Jesus? You think so? I think I'm far from. I think I'm already cursed. I am. Let's have a look. Okay, so I don't know. We've sort of made a couple of legs and we've tried to go down. We've pushed up. We've come back. Maybe it's going to try to go higher. I don't know. 80% patience. Absolutely. Fully agree with you. No, retail traders. In all fairness, most people who are on PA accounts are still on demos, so what we do doesn't affect the market in the slightest. Leg, so 1-2 legs up. Maybe it's just going to retest this. I don't know, but it's just a bit unpredictable. Usually, sometimes the market is so predictable, you can just know what's going on. And then other days like this, it's just doing things you wouldn't expect. And it's that thing that Mac talks about, that the market's got multiple personalities. It does look like we're going to have a leg. If we can break above here, say, especially there, leg, I'd expect there to be some stops there. So if this finishes bearish and triggers, I think that'll push up above there. This is a possible target. Best loser wins. Absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right. I've got to say, losing when you're trading a contract definitely doesn't hurt as much. Okay, that bearish bar's triggered there, so I expect that to go up and stop that out. Based on what I'm seeing. 1 minute I'm thinking bearish, but I would say under the circumstances there. Or it could be a leg in a leg. In which case it'd come down, but that just looks like a trap to me. I don't trade a buddy. I don't speak too much anymore, but unfortunately, he takes what does he take? Beta blockers to slow his heart down when he's taking a trade. Marlon, he's all right actually. He's a guy I've been talking to for about a year and a half, but I haven't chatted to him lately. He was considering giving up. I think. I hope he hasn't, because I spent a lot of time talking to him when I had bad days. I think this is going to come up now. I did mention that bearish bar there. It's triggered, and this to me looks like it's pushing up. Edwin Highlands, you still starting your streams 2:30 and 1:30 now. Just 1:30 at the moment, bud, because the clocks in the UK have gone back 1 hour. US catches up on the 5th. So yeah, I'll be trading at 1:30. So I suppose I should put 1:30 on me trade on me thing, shouldn't I? I put 2:30 as usual. It's a trap. Yeah, there's 2 legs up, and it's quite a bearish bar which triggered, so I'd expect that to get stopped out. You never know, it may hold, it might have just, a lower high and come down, but I wouldn't take that trade. But this may be a lower high and it may come down. I would like to see it come down here, so perhaps this is going to trap some more shorts. But yeah, it's you can't trade that. It's just a bit congested. If it breaks above there, though, I would expect some more. 2 attempts higher. Yeah. it's a bit hard to trade here. Should we gamble the old account? Been there, done that already, mate. Been there, done that. You name it, I've done it. Okay, so that's going to get stopped out, I think. There we go. See, after we've had this and pulled back lower than this, I expected to come down and retest these, but I don't know, maybe it's just ranging for a time. It's an eval. Yeah, trust me, I've sat here one night, drunk about a third of a bottle of single malt and traded away 10 evaluations. Yeah, you name it, I've done it. Fun while it lasted, but it's just some of the daft things you do. So that's possible. Leg, I don't know. I'm just a bit. You got to be careful trading this because it is a little bit unpredictable. I absolutely agree with you, bud. I've sort of been a believer for a while in you can't just walk into this and deal with these wins and losses because the emotions are too powerful. You just can't get used to them, and you almost go into sort of fight or flight mode. They call it dissociation, don't they, where you start to stress and panic and you basically go into a mode of dissociation. It's almost like getting into a punch-up when you're a young lad. You don't think clearly, you just start swinging like a crazy man. But the way I see it, the more you do it, the more you have those emotions day by day. At some point, you learn to live with them. And I've always said, I remember going to a boxing class when I was a young lad, when I was about 13 or 14. I remember after about 3 months, I went into the ring and did a little bit of sparring for the first time. I remember getting hit. I remember just thinking panic, and I started swinging like mad. And after about 30 seconds, they dragged us apart, and that was sort of my experience of a ring for the first time. But then more experienced guys went in, and they were a lot calmer. You know, we can't walk into a boxing ring and box like a boxer can, cool, calm, and collected, because we're not used to the emotions. They are. Why? Because they've exposed themselves to those emotions enough times that they can deal with them. They start to get to be able to manage them, and that's where we want to get to. We've just got to keep trading and trading and trading, and sooner or later that brain and that mindset starts to change, and you start to accept things a bit more, and they have less of effect on you. Blown up real accounts. It took me out. I had to go back for some 3 years before back on live account. Just stay in the game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've blown £5,000 of my own money before, but you know, just by reducing to one contract's making a difference for me. That's exactly right, Martin. You need to rewire your brain. I think a buddy of mine said to me, his name was Martin. You're not the same guy, yeah? Maybe not. Martin Keychak. Said to me, it's a way of, what was the words he used? I printed them out. I've got me somewhere. What he basically said, it's a way of, what's the word? Forging your brain to be able to work like a trader. And it's a form of forging, isn't it? You slowly manipulate that brain. It's like anything, you can manipulate the body. You know, you can put a young 25-year-old lad into a gym for 2 years and he'll come out ripping with muscles. So you can you know, exercise and form and train and adapt that body. You can do exactly the same with a mind. You know, a young lad goes into the army, into the military, doesn't he? He goes in, long hair, can't get out of bed, lazy as arse, can't do nothing for himself, you know, and after 8 months of full-time absolute brutalness, you know, you come out a trained soldier, completely different. So you can adapt that mind exactly the same you can with the body. I'm really surprised we're doing this. I do wonder whether we're, as we're going sideways there, we could just be ranging here. Let's have a look. So your emotions are worn on. Absolutely. And then you just, I couldn't have put that better, mate. I couldn't have put that better. You do. You just punish yourself and punish yourself half the time. And at some point, you just get to the land of acceptance and you just realise the only way this works is if you take a trade, if you see a setup, and that's it. You forget about it, put it behind you, sit down there, wait for another setup. Set yourself a limit for the day. So I say if I have 2 losses in a row, if I have a win and a loss and a win, I'm okay. But if I have 2 losses in a row, that's where I walk away. Something's not working right or I'm not clear mind. But if I have a loss, a win, and then another loss, I'll stay as long as it's basically getting to the stage where I'm 2 down. But what I will say is if there is anybody struggling and you're still trading 2 contracts on a $50,000 account, you're risking 10, 11, 12% of your money. It's a lot, and it's a lot to recover from if you lose 2 or 3 trades. And if you're still struggling with emotions and you may have those moments where you lose 2 or 3 trades, it's hard to recover. I've done it myself, but by reducing that risk, you know, what did I lose? 2.75 points. So I'm down $135. So if I lose 2 of those in a day, I'm down $270 maximum. You can recover from that. Once that starts to get double, it becomes harder. But yeah, you've just got to keep coming back and keep working, and your mind starts to adapt. I can feel mine that's happened over the years. Things seem easier, more alien, more normal, and they don't affect me as much. There was a time, whereas if I used to take a loss, I'd jump straight back into another trade. I don't do that now. That loss I had there was just after 2:30. Where are we now? UK time. That was an hour and a half ago. I've had no urge to get back in, and if I just do that every time, things work. So it does seem like a little bit of is this another lower high? I don't know what's going on here. It's looking like it's pushing up to me. We've got that measured leg up here, so my only slight concern going long here is at the moment, but we've got a bit of resistance there. And if I'm going to go long, it needs to be back here, really, not there. Let's just clean this chart up a bit. So we got that leg up, and we had a leg down, and we had 2 legs up and a pullback. I think that was just maybe 2 attempts to go lower, and we didn't, and we pushed up. So we were bullish initially, and then we had this push down. So I'm starting to think bullish at the moment, in all honesty. I do wonder whether we're going to have this. A leg and a leg, and a leg. I think that's feasible. But we're struggling to get higher at the moment. A bit of sideways. I'd like to see it come back here and confirm this channel. Okay, fade to breakout. Come on down. I'm unsure about this leg down. 1, 2 pushes up and then down. Nothing I can do with that. It's an inside bar. Do you know, I feel at the moment, I feel this could come crashing down quickly. And the reason I say that is we've had this leg down and we've had 2 proper attempts to go higher. 1 leg, 2 leg, 1 leg, 2 leg. It could come crashing down this. And that's my concern about going long there. Now, it might be me being paranoid. The reason I'm saying that is same again. We've had this leg down and 2 attempts to go higher in the way of leg, leg, pull back, leg, leg. So it could trap some longs here and then just come down. I've seen this before. This does look like a bigger version of a penguin trade, so that's my concern. It just drops pretty quickly. Just keep that in mind. If it does it, I wouldn't be surprised. So if it does come down, I won't be taking the first bar. It'll be the higher low. So you could fade that, actually. Yeah, there is a possibility that we could come down really strongly. It's flickering. That makes me nervous. I think we're going to have a big drop. Okay, that's looking... the only way I'm going to get in this is the higher low. Yeah, it is a bit. I kind of like where it is, but it just makes me nervous. It's got to be a higher low for me. I just don't want to get trapped here because it could come tumbling down. Sometimes when I have these feelings, they're often right when something doesn't feel right. My concern is to have had this leg down to larger attempts to go higher, and it could just trap some longs in there. There may have been some longs bought that. We've come down, pushed up. It's certainly more bullish than bearish. But it's got risk written all over that. So it's going to be a higher low. Now, if we can get up above this, then I would say that's our next target with a potential to push quite a bit higher. So far, so good. It's looking okay as long as it can hold. It could come down. It could do. Yeah. I'm wrong just as much. But sometimes when I get a feeling, the reason I'm saying it is because of the 10,000 tick chart. Leg and leg. Having said that, we had a bearish bar there. We pushed down leg and we had a bearish bar there. If it was going to come down, if people wanted to bring that bar down off of that big bearish bar, surely that would have been the place to do it. Not here. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a bit paranoid, but I always like to just, keep my options open and just look at both sides. So we've got a leg down and pull up. Now, if we get a bearish bar and trigger below this, I don't know, it's starting to look bullish, but as I say, I think if we were going to come down after we had these initial two pushes up, as I just saw that big bullish bar on a 10,000, bearish bar on a 10,000 tick chart, surely if you're going to go down, if you were going to trade that, if you were looking for an entry, one leg and one leg up, you may have took that one, but that one was a lower high, leg down, two pushes up, so two clear attempts and a big bearish bar below the EMA. Surely if you wanted to trade that down to these lows, that would be the trade, not something a little smaller up here. Once this is ticked and pushed up for me, the down stuff is over. So I always just like to have that options open, but well, there we go. Let's see what's happening. So if we can get a higher low or maybe a break above this and a pull back, then I'll be interested in going long there. But well, okay, so let's see if we can get a little pullback, retest this. I just always like to keep my options open because you just never know. And I've done this before, got into longs, and all of a sudden it comes down. So let's just see if we can
Order submitted.
Pull back here. A lower high maybe. Retest this top. Then I do expect to get to this with the potential for getting a bit higher. It's going to go with us. Yeah, you might be right. Haven't even got a high low there or anything, which is unfortunate. Okay, come back and I like it when we go up and retest it. That's good. Can I come a bit further down, really? There's too much of a gap there. It could trigger yet and come down. There could be a couple of legs down, so sometimes you just got to be a bit more patient. That's tempting. Something I don't like about it. There's something I don't like about it. It's just a bit too far away from the EMA. It could trigger. We could have a leg and a leg. Sometimes, if it's a weak position, it'll get stopped out. It'll bounce down and rock it up. No, I'm not taking that.
Order cancelled.
It could have a leg and a leg. It may push up, but sometimes it'll trigger that, make a leg and a leg, stop that out, come down, push up, and we'll have a nice second entry long. But I just think that's a bit risky for me. sometimes when it does that, it teases you and teases you and teases you and teases you, and then comes down. And I've waited and waited and got into trades like that, and they turn. So I think that's risky. It's too far from the EMA. I'd like a leg down and a leg down, take that stop out, and then push up. Or there's a possibility of a second entry short, which triggers and that pushes up, we'll see. Now that would be a failure then. You're going short, are you? See, we're moving up at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I want to get back to here, so maybe you get a point out of that or 2 points. That's what I was expecting. Leg down, leg down. That's why that was a weak position for me. Now, if you can hold here, drop down a bit more, get a nice big bullish bar, then that would interest me. We'll see. Yeah. But you see how that was pushing up a bit and coming back and pushing up a bit and coming back and pushing up a bit and almost teasing you. So you're seeing this as a range, Edward, are you? And you're seeing that as a lower high. See how that's held there. I could micro adjust that. This is 2 larger legs. See, I've got that leg and that leg. There's always a possibility. Oh, you don't trade pattern. I got you. It could be that leg up and then that leg up, which we're at now. So, yeah, so that's always my concern. It gets your longs and all of a sudden tanks. We'll see. See how far it comes down. Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of that, in all fairness. Yeah, so there'd have been a time where I'd have bought that, and look what happened. It triggered, you came down. Short at 69.50. So we got a leg and a leg, haven't we? So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. So leg down, leg. Yeah, we could come down and make a new low. It's possible. We're not taking that. I've just learnt we're getting trapped. If it's a weak position, it is a higher low, but it's too far from the EMA, and it's just, I don't know, you just get used to seeing a picture. So many times in the past I've taken that and it's triggered me. You just get used to sort of knowing when something doesn't look right. I hope you get it right. There is a lower high there, and after that leg, it might not be a terrible trade, but we come bouncing off that midline. Caught that short. Good on you, mate. Good on you, lad. Okay, excuse me, just a sec. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. Hey, Sam, how you doing, pal? So leg. Are we going up? Are we coming down? Oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Just not a fan of it, in all fairness. Scalped out, you sure there, did you? It's quite choppy, isn't it? Let's have a look. These two legs could make another leg up or become a range. Yeah. It's sort of rangy, but ranging with a sort of upbit, for want of a better word, with sort of like a slight more of a bullish imbalance, isn't it? But you just don't know. It just could come tumbling down, couldn't it? Hopefully it'll reach the bottom. Well, after we sort of had this leg down and we had those initial pushes up, I thought that one was going to do it, but then we pushed up higher some more and higher still. So but I'm thinking I'm going to say I'm thinking bearish at the moment, but you just don't know, do you? Sitting at VWAP. Where's VWAP? Above it or below it? $65.20. Okay, so just around about below at the moment. So, possibility of something slightly bigger. I see. I'm thinking still down at the moment. I am. There's a double bottom there. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. There's a failure there. I kind of like that.
Order submitted. Order cancelled. Order submitted.
No, it's just congested, isn't it? Oh, I kind of like it. Try go once, try go twice. No, it's just
Order cancelled.
It's a bit choppy and unpredictable. No, it's hard to say. I mean, we've had a break. We tried to go once, try to go twice. I like the fact that we trapped a couple of longs there. But the way that's broke below there but hasn't really done anything, just... I would say it would probably work. But probably isn't enough, really. Could continue going sideways, couldn't it? Down, sideways, gets a nice bar, continues down. It's a bit risky though at the moment. A lot of times when we go down, we go sideways, we'll get a decent bar and then we'll just drop again. Very tempted here. Sideways, lower high.
Order submitted. I thought that ticked above it, hasn't it? Order cancelled.
Touch, touch, touch. I thought that bar had triggered above there as a lower high. It hasn't. Yeah, it's just unpredictable here at the moment, isn't it? There's nothing I can do, really. I mean, you've got a bullish bar there, which is triggered. I expect it to go down, but it's just any setups are just tricky. You think I'm more emotional today? You're probably right. Oh, it's absolutely hammering down it there. Grief. Try to go once, try to twice, possible triple test. Actually, I like that. Try to go once, try to twice, triple test. I like that.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Excuse me, just a sec. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Right, sorry about that. Okay, possible second entry short there. Leg down, 1, 2, triple test. Possible second
Order
entry
submitted.
short. Let's have a look. No.
Order cancelled.
Thought 1, 2, triple test maybe. Wow, this is definitely an unusual day. This might just be a fade. Fade the breakout. Maybe not. Could just be a break and a new extreme. It's possible. There is a possibility of a bigger channel there. It's definitely a difficult day to trade today. Things aren't as they usually seem. Still not a fan of that. I just wonder, after the 2 legs, are we going to make a new low? I think it's possible. We need to start working down here, really, don't we? It's certainly not in a rush to push up. Leg down. Let's have a little look. Leg down. 1 leg up, 2 legs up. Perfect measured leg down. Little bit of a pullback. it's quite choppy, isn't it? It's quite hard to read. Yeah, I'd like to see that gap closed. Up, down, couple of legs up. See, tempting something like that, but it could trigger you and push back up to the tops again. Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? Tempting. $57's your target, yeah. I was tempted with that. It's just a bit too far from the MA for my liking. You went short, did you? 63, yeah, somewhere, yeah. And got a couple of legs back. Yeah, it's so choppy. I would like to see these lows hit. There is a failure there, but that's just so risky so far from the MA, but nah, I just can't get involved. If we can get a break, couple of legs back. My only slight concern is there is some resistance there. You can see it along there, maybe a bit lower. So I'd like to. That's what concerns me about going short around about here. I think got a couple of legs up here. I'm interested in going short. Gotta go. Yeah, take it easy, Martin. You have a good mate. Okay, first entry. See if we can get a second leg. Leg it down, 2 legs, another leg down. Maybe test these lows. So we've had a leg up, leg up. Excuse me. Leg down, possible hidden second entry short.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Slight concern is we've had a break in a new low there. So It's gone real slow, isn't it now? God, this is so boring at the moment. I like to think we're coming down to test this, but there's a hidden second entry short with the signal bars. Now if we can get a lower high. Mm. It's looking tempting to go short, but we could just do this sideways for a bit. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. That's a possibility. It's hard to say. Very choppy. Could be going up, could be going down. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. Possibly a leg and a leg. It's hard to say at the moment. And technically, that channel, we've had a break in a new low, so could have a leg and a leg, could come down, could go up. No, nothing, mate. Nothing. Leg down. So you get a lower high from here. Leg up and down. No, nothing. I think if that was a bar that was going to come down, it would have done it by now. Leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, up to the midline, bearish. It's very tempting. See if we can get a lower high. $200. Good on you, mate. Does look like a penguin trade leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. Are you still short, IO, Sam? You're still on the run, are you? So we get a lower high here.
Order submitted.
See if that comes into a lower high. No, it's not going to, is it?
Order cancelled.
You're long here, are you? Yeah, there is a failure, isn't there? There's a failure.
Order submitted.
I like the fact if it breaks above there, come back and get me. Come on. If it comes and gets me, come on. Come on. Good on you, mate. Missed it. I thought if it breaks above there, oh well.
Order cancelled.
God, it's so slow and boring, I gotta say. Yeah, I'm gonna quit while you're ahead. I don't blow your mate tomorrow. We're better. Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough day, isn't it? It's unpredictable. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. It's just so... It's up, down, up, down. It's a bit all over the place, and it's not clear either, is it? Yeah, it looks about right, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Gone from, there's a touch here, there's multiple touches there, isn't there? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere around about there, give or take. Get some water, stay hydrated. Yeah, I haven't drunk much today, to be fair. I've had a cup of tea going, but I usually have a 5-minute break, usually. I haven't. But another 10 minutes and I'm done anyway, so... Oh, this is boring the arse off me, this is. Oh, I'm bored out my arse. Okay, first entry. Trouble is, sometimes the more you sit down here, the more you just look for a trade that might be just risky. I mean, anything around here at the moment is risky, isn't it? This is the worst I've had in 2 weeks. And I'm only $87.50 down. Sometimes I might just knock it on the head. Especially when it's like this, you know, patience gets the better and you got more chance of getting knocked on your arse. $87.50 down on for the worst I've had in 2 weeks. It's actually not that bad. It's just choppy as hell. There's going to be traps galore. Yeah, I'm knocking on the head, I am. It's just, there's no point. Because the more you get bored, the more chance you got of snapping and taking a trade that you should really wait for. I mean, it's just congested, isn't it? Are we going up? Are we going down? Who knows? You know, you think we're coming down here, we're going to make the bottoms, maybe break the lows. We don't. It's just all over the place, up, down. It's pretty random, isn't it? Up, down, it's all over the place. Very wicky. Trouble is, taking up the trade, end up down $87 is bugger all, really. There's just no sense in just, you know, looking for something. What time is it? I've been going nearly 4 hours, 10 minutes over 4 hours, so can't see the point in trading any longer. Good exercise and going away for the day, that is. Okay, I'm going to knock on the head for the day, guys. I don't want to sit here any longer and possibly lose another because it's choppy as hell. It's really hard trading today, so sometimes you're better off just knocking on the head. So 2 trades, 1 up, 1 down. So I'm down, as I say, $87.50. In all fairness, in the grand scheme of things, it's bugger all. But it's just horrible trading day, to be fair. But there you go. So that is me for the day, folks. So let me just save this up. Yeah, see you. Yeah, you too, bud. So that's it. So if you can hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. Trying to grow the channel a bit, live the trade of the day. Absolutely. It's a small daily loss, really, isn't it? So it's just choppy as hell, and then up a bit choppy. You don't know where it's going to go up, go down. I got no idea, but that's it, folks. So I appreciate all your comments. How have you been doing? Staying away later. I haven't actually traded once. I closed my trade down, and that is it. It's the only way it's going to work. I just have to do it properly. And as you can see, you can see what my PA account is. If you look yesterday, you'll see what it was when I started. It's $10 under $1,000. I don't trade after. At the end of the day, it just doesn't work. It's never worked for me. It's just greed. So I haven't done it at all in the last 2 weeks. So it's been day 11 today. So it's okay, actually. Yeah, it's the worst day I've had today. So, but I'll sort my stream out for tomorrow. I'll go down and have dinner, and that'll be it for now. So there's no point in getting in now. I do my stream, and that's it. I'm done. Thanks, Edward. At some point, you just have to do it because it just doesn't work. If I carried on trading now, it'd be out of greed or because I've been down. Yeah, it's you too, bud. You too. So that's it, folks. I appreciate all your comments. Sorry we had a bit of annoyance early there with somebody, but now and again you'll get one. But it was just a bit of an interrogation, which just got a bit annoying. But it happens sometimes, you know. But there you go. So I'll be back here same time tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe, and we will do it all again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.